One of the most widely discussed issues today is the controversial and seemingly never-ending debate of pro-life versus pro-choice in regards to abortion. With more teens and young adults now getting involved in sexual acts at a younger age and teen pregnancy at an all-time high, it is no wonder that some women are taking drastic measures to end their pregnancy. As a result of many clinics being shut down around the country, the termination of clinics has resulted due to the fact that many people view them as sacrilegious, unhealthy, and dirty. Of the few clinics that are still up and running today, they are held to extremely high standards in which they are expected to be of the same quality of any other kind of health facility. As a result of these new expectations, legislation, and all of the backlash places such as Planned Parenthood have had, 43 states prohibit abortion, with the exception of a situation in which the mother's health is being put in harm's way. In most cases, this is a result of a problem with the fetus, most often fetal viability. Since the Supreme Court legalized abortion in 1973 in the case of Roe v. Wade and Doe v. Bolton, states have done all that they can to regulate and ensure that this extreme measure is only taken when necessary, depending on the potential mother's circumstances. Like any other controversial issue, there are two sides. Pro-life supporters object abortion, while those whom support abortion are labeled pro-choice. After interviewing several students at the Pennsylvania State University, it became clear to me that an individual's religious background can play a large role in how they respond to questions on abortion. For example, every single person I interviewed that had grown up in a Catholic-based household believed that pro-life was the only humane and acceptable option. Another pattern I noticed was that of the two men I interviewed, both felt that being pro-choice is perfectly ethical and that a woman should only have the say on how she treats her body. In recent news, Texas has been receiving a plethora of publicity involving abortion legislation. There have been multiple riots and demonstrations in which women are outraged by the fact that almost every clinic there has been closed. The cause of these facilities being shut down is a document titled House Bill 2, which had a significant impact on reproductive rights for women, while also causing several obstacles, yet all the while without overturning Roe v. Wade. Texas has also placed strict restrictions on women's reproductive rights within the past few years, which has led to anything except positive results. For example, after the state banned Planned Parenthood in 2013, less women had access to birth control and more had unwanted pregnancies. Women also now have to travel 3 to 4 times farther on an average of 170 miles round trip versus what used to only be 40 miles in order to get the treatment they needed to terminate the unwanted pregnancy. As a result of women not having the much-needed transportation or financial means to make it to these clinics, self-induced abortion has recently been on the rise in many states, not only posing a serious threat to the fetus but the mother as well. As a result of restrictive laws being passed throughout the country, similar to Texas, a woman named Lauren Stryker, the Associate Professor of Gynecology at Northwestern University of Medicine, was quoted saying, "We're back to the days before Roe v. Wade. We know that before abortion was legal, it wasn't that it didn't happen, but people died as a result." One of the most well-known facilities for assisting women with abortions and providing contraceptives is Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is a non-profit healthcare institution with 59 affiliates and 700 clinics around the U.S., some of which provide abortion services. In 1970, Planned Parenthood of Syracuse, New York, became the first clinic to offer abortion services. After the Supreme Court case Roe v. Wade legalized abortion across the country in 1973, many Planned Parenthood clinics became providers. As the largest single provider of abortions in the U.S., Planned Parenthood has certainly had its fair share of backlash, with one of its most severe and recent incidents including a man in Colorado Springs by claiming he was a warrior for the babies. Planned Parenthood continues to face adversity from pro-life supporters, yet a majority of their funds going towards STD testing and treatment for patients. Although I believe that every woman should have the final say on how she wishes to treat her body, I also think that before automatically getting an abortion, one should look into other options as well. Some of these options include adoption, keeping the baby, or having a family member raise the child. If none of these are a plausible option, I do not see anything wrong with ending one's pregnancy if they feel they would not yet be fit as a parent. No child should be raised in a home where they feel unwanted or that their parents are unable to provide for them. 3 steps that people can take in order to be more proactive and informed about abortion are: 1. Become better educated, 2. Know your state's legislation laws, and 3. Inform others about your knowledge on the topic. If you or someone you know is currently facing an unwanted pregnancy or think they may be, have them call 888-543-3243 or go to realalternatives.org to know all of your options.